Today's show is sponsored by the ABV Network Merchandise Shop. Check out our large assortment of logo merch and our lifestyle collection as well. Just head over to abvnetwork.com and click on Shop. We are also sponsored by The Bar to Go. The Bar to Go offers a fully customizable carrying case that allows you to take your favorite distilled spirits or cocktail ingredients with you. Whether you're looking for yourself, a customized gift, or logo items for your business or event, The Bar to Go can help. Check them out at thebar2go.com. Use the number 2 when you type out The Bar to Go. Did you know Neely Family Distillery now ships its popular distilled spirits directly to you? To order, simply call 859-394-3258. Tell them the ABV Network sent you. Finally, we are sponsored by the upcoming ABV Barrel Shop, a new liquor store experience coming to St. Louis, Missouri. The ABV Barrel Shop will serve as home to the ABV Network and will be owned and operated by Steve Akeley, Jim Fosnot, and Scott Creighton, a.k.a. the Barrel Buddies. To learn more about the investment opportunities in this new venture, listen to the ad at the end of this podcast. And now, on to the show.
Let's drink!
Welcome to the Bourbon Daily, the podcast about everything bourbon delivered to you every day of the week. Today on the show, we discuss how Brown-Forman is recreating Catherine Carpenter's bourbon recipe. My name is McNew. Please join me in welcoming my co-host for the evening, Steve Akeley, along with our special guests, Danny Kennard, Jessica Fullerton, and Luke Otero.
Hey, gang, what's up?
Hey, guys.
Hola.
Hey-o. So we're going to have a fun show today. We're going to be talking about Catherine Carpenter and, her contributions to bourbon. Danny's got some historical information for us. Should be fun. And then we're going to talk about this idea of, her recipe being brought back to life, utilizing some historically accurate ways of making that whiskey. So it should be fun. But before we get to that, Luke, you said there's something you want to talk about. What is that?
Yeah, so, we've... the War Department and we're the only ones at the house anymore, and and we enjoy grilling burgers on Sunday afternoons, but I'm tired of buying an 8-pack of buns and they go to waste. Is anyone else feeling like me?
Yes. Now, though they do have a 4-pack now at the grocery store where I shop, so they've reduced it where you have to 4, which is not bad. But I agree, yeah, the 8-pack is tough, But if you can get the 4 with 2 people, it's not bad. And then you can even grill up extra, and then you have to save a burger for later in the week or something like that. But yeah,
we don't have 4s.
You don't have 4s there, so you got 8. Huh? Yeah, that I don't. Maybe go to. Does your bakery have like? Fresh buns that they can buy individually, something like that. I mean,
one store used to do it, and then when COVID hit, they stopped doing it.
They stopped doing it
because then we used to be able to just go get, what we needed. And,
right. Yeah.
And, now it's so I even gone to like Five Guys and said, "Listen, can I just buy 2 buns?"
Making them an offer. Yeah.
Yeah, and they said, we typically don't do that, and some of the cashiers will do it, and they'll just charge me $1 a bun, which is fine.
Right.
And the others said, "No, you're going to have to pay for the whole burger." I said, "Well, okay, well, let me just have the whole burger."
Right.
I'll even go home and grill.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. Jessica, how about you? You are single sometimes, and then other times you have your kids. So you're not a big group either. So 8 buns is a lot for you. So what do you do?
Yeah, I mean, I guess they go in the freezer, or I eat a lot of hot ham and cheeses on buns and get.
Okay, so you then multitask them.
I'm a freezer of buns, but maybe you should be, reviving some sort of old bun recipe. And when you become a baker / bun. I don't know. What was it? Father of the Bride. I remember him shopping in the store. He was having a nervous breakdown, and he was buying. I just want to buy 10 hot dogs and 10 hot dog buns to go with this. So he was on there breaking the hot dog bun packages apart, and I'm removing the bun. That's exactly what I
I'm Jessica. I'm not quite there yet, but
you're getting close. Yeah. One thing I like to use as a bun substitute, and might work out well because then you can obviously freeze these as bagels. I will then sometimes use a bagel. I put a burger on a bagel when I get into the situation Luke's talking about. So to me, that's a substitute you can consider too. How about you, Danny? It's just you and Misty. So if you're not having the kids over and stuff, obviously you've got 3 kids, but right, 3 kids, right?
4.
4 kids, but they don't live at home. So, but if no one's home, it's just you and Misty. So, what do you do with buns then?
Well, I look at it in 2 different ways. Yes, I do like the little 4-pack that you were talking about.
Yep,
but
they have that.
Sometimes those are more expensive. So to me, it's easier just to buy the 8-pack and throw the rest away. I mean, you got to save money somewhere. I mean, I hate throwing away the food, but at the same time,
throw it out for the birds, I guess. Wing the bread. Yeah, put out a video of that.
Wing the bread.
It's kind of like the same thing of buying a full can of corn or that little half can of corn. That half can of corn will turn around and cost you almost $2, and this will cost you $1.29 for the full can.
You go for the full can. Yeah, right. If you don't need it. Okay. What about you, McNew? What do you do?
Okay, so I have a couple options. So I love our Aldi. I'm obsessed with Aldi, and they have these pretzel buns that come in a set of 4. So you could get some fancy pretzel buns, or
I do like a pretzel bun, by the way.
Yeah.
That's
if you're weak, right? So if you're like, hey, we're going to grill out Sunday, we're going to have burgers, but leftover buns, maybe do like a pulled pork or a pulled chicken later in the week. So you still have your buns. They're still good. Or a lot of times, like Chris and I suck at just like measuring stuff and making stuff for 2 people. So our neighbors in the back that we really like, we're just like, hey, see if John and Sherry want some because we made too much. Like we share a lot because we're like, we're not going to eat it. Neither of us do leftovers. So we give a lot of it away too.
Just give a lot away. Now, that being said, you've had half your neighborhood move away, so I'm not so sure about how good that cooking is.
Not the ones we talk to. It's all the ones we don't talk to.
Okay. So I was at your wedding. So I was at your house one time. It was when you got married. You were married there, and the reception or party was there afterwards. Anybody from the neighborhood, have they moved away? People that I would have met at the wedding there?
No, they're still here.
All still there. Okay.
They're
that's
also,
good. Because you seem to have a good friendship with a lot of the folks there. So
yeah, we do. We really like the people that are close to us.
Okay. Well, Luke, that's what we've got. I mean, nothing's perfect. Nothing's perfect there, but yeah.
I think you've taken my temperature down from doing the Steve Martin thing to, with some really good suggestions. I ham and cheese sandwiches, Jessica.
Yeah,
definitely will do those. Some pulled pork sandwiches because the War Department likes that.
She likes that. Okay.
Yeah. The sharing with neighbors, they're always kind of hit and miss. Not that we don't like them, or maybe they don't like us. I'm not sure, but we only see them when we have our neighborhood watch meetings.
Yeah, I think that I wouldn't say neighbors, but neighbors you're friends with, that you're social with. You've got to differentiate there.
Yeah, there you go. Okay.
There you go.
Well, thank you, everybody.
Sure. Glad we could help. All right. That's what we do here. It is time to drink, though. What is everyone drinking? Let's start with Luke this time. Luke, what do you got?
All right.
A champion last time. Let's see how good he comes out of the gate here.
So this is another bottle from Peerless, actually.
Okay.
It is.
Looks full, too, by the way.
It is one of their gift shop picks called the Go-Getter. And Corky picked this one because it reminded him when he was at military school. Steve, you know the story that he used to sell cinnamon sticks.
Yeah.
For extra money, so you can go to the Dairy Queen or something like that. So anyway, this one has a cinnamon flavor in it, and so here we go. Let's see what happens.
Ooh,
that was good.
That was good. That was very good. Mm-hmm. Huh. Okay.
Luke's bringing it tonight, kids.
He is. Yeah. I got Henry McKenna, but it's about half full, so I don't expect that noise to come out of it. This is decent, not Luke levels though. So, that's for me. Jessica, you're next. What do you got?
Let's see what I got. Grab me some chicken cock here.
All right, the chicken cock. That's also very good. Not as good as Luke's, though. So that was an excellent try. Not good enough, though. So, McNew, you're next.
I have some Blanton's Gold. Nothing.
Nothing going on there. Okay. All right, last but not least is Danny.
I have some Old Ezra cat strength.
Okay. Pretty full bottle. No, nothing there. Luke, you're 2 for 2, my man. 2 for 2. You're off to a good start. Cheers, gang.
Cheers.
All right. We'll take a quick break. And then when we come back, we're going to be talking about this idea of Catherine Carpenter's recipe for bourbon being revived. We'll do that in just a few. Hello, this is Steve Akeley of the ABV Network. Let's talk about the people who make this show happen. First up is Leatherwood Distillery in Pleasant View, Tennessee. Company founder Andy Lang started distilling as a hobby while serving his country as an elite Green Beret. Andy distilled all over the world during his time in the military and brought this passion back to him in the U.S. when he returned home. A visit to Leatherwood combines Andy Lang's unique distilled spirits and a museum of artifacts from his time serving the U.S. Share a drink with a fallen soldier at their bar where you can grab an acrylic bio off the wall that celebrates the individuals who gave the ultimate sacrifice to protect his or her country. They will also ship their distilled spirits directly to you, so check them out at leatherwooddistillery.com. We are also sponsored by Moonshine University. This longtime partner for the ABV Network helps educate individuals looking to get into the distilled spirits business, service industry employees looking to expand their knowledge, and individuals simply wanting to know more about the process and history of the spirits industry. In 2017, I completed my Executive Bourbon Steward certification at Moonshine University, and it's something I continuously draw upon and connect with fellow graduates. Check out their full listing of classes, including Executive Bourbon Steward certification, production classes, and more at moonshineuniversity.com. Okay, let's talk about Neely Family Distillery. In 2018, I met Royce Neely at an industry event. He started appearing on our shows, and we became friends during my frequent visits to Kentucky. Today, he's leading the way for young distillers making their mark on the bourbon industry. A visit to Neely Family Distillery combines family history, a look at what makes their products unique, and of course a tasting through their whiskeys, moonshines, and creams. Check them out at neelyfamilydistillery.com and visit them in Sparta, Kentucky. All right, back to the show. Danny, though, you are between Jim and Victory. What do you got?
I have an Indiana rye.
Sure, Danny.
Tumble dice.
Cumblebeiss. Yes, I love Cumblebeiss. I'm sure that's the name of the brand, Cumblebeiss. Sure.
Tumble dice.
Oh, tumble dice. Okay.
Yes.
Let's
Freddie Mills of Ruse.
Okay. Freddie Mills of Ruse.
So we're about to pop it.
No, that was all desk is what that was. All desk, no pop. Jim wins. So Jim, you got it there, man.
Hey.
Congrats, Jim.
Cheers, gang.
Cheers.
Oh my God, this is horrible.
Welcome back to the Bourbon Daily. Today we're talking about how Brown-Forman is recreating Catherine Carpenter's bourbon recipe.
Yes, we did. So, Danny, you apparently were doing a little research. What did you find out on Catherine Carpenter? Let's hear some Danny facts here. He's got the glasses coming off. Okay,
Yeah,
he's serious about this.
I thought it was pretty cool when I was starting to look up some information on this lady. In 1995, the Carpenter family donated some paperwork to the Kentucky Historical Society.
Yeah, that's good.
The papers ranged anywhere from 1788 to 1928.
Wow.
It was known that she was a mother of 12, widowed twice,
Yep.
and successfully ran a family farm. And she was very hands-on doing this. In the paperwork, it was found of 2 bourbon recipes. There was a sour mash on one side and a sweet mash on the other side. Okay, these were believed to be dated back to 1818.
Mm-hmm.
Not for sure, but that's what they believe. Her first husband, John Fry, he died in 1782 at the Battle of Blue Licks,
Okay.
leaving her with being pregnant and a younger daughter.
Okay.
In 1754, she married a man by the name of Adam Carpenter and settled by Fry Creek. Over the next 22 years, she gave birth to 10 more kids.
Wow. Yeah.
Raised farm animals, crops, rented out some of the land, and distilled spirits. Distilling spirits was just as necessary as making soap, candle molds, or the hand loom.
Yeah. It was part of farm life back then. So,
yes.
Yeah. Anything else you got, Danny? I can fill in a couple more things too. So the person that traditionally was credited with starting the sour mash process. So sweet mash would be the normal thing. So you create a batch of whiskey, you clean all the equipment, and then you start anew with the next batch. That's how whiskey was made. And then the sour mash process is you use a little part of the previous one. It gives you some consistency because then you're bringing in some of the previously used mash into the next one that you make. And Dr. James Crow of the Dr. James Crow brand. So when we think of Old Crow, you think of Dr. James Crow, and he was credited with starting the sour mash process. But then when they found this paperwork that was donated to the Historical Society, turns out Catherine Carpenter had a recipe that was older than what Dr. James Crow involvement in the industry was. So now she's recognized as being the person to start the sour mash process. So I think that's obviously very notable when it comes to historical things in the world of bourbon and whiskey making in America. So that's pretty darn cool. And, she had a decent sized distillery from what I understand. Again, we're talking farm distillery. We're not talking about a distillery that was employing people to make whiskey and then they sell it, they bottle it and all. This is different times. She was worked on a farm, and at the end of the season they would make whiskey and then they would utilize that to trade. So if you're talking about a brand, it wasn't really a brand of whiskey, but she did sell it, of course. That was part of the trading and things like that that she did in the local community. And she was the one that carried that on after, she had two husbands pass away, and she actually did that and ran that by herself. So that's actually a pretty cool thing. And obviously a great contribution to the world of bourbon. To me, Kentucky Bourbon Hall of Fame worthy. She's not in the Kentucky Bourbon Hall of Fame, but that is her contribution to bourbon. What do you guys think about Catherine Carpenter? Before we start talking about this whiskey project, what do you guys think about her?
I think she deserves to be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
I mean, she was a pioneer. And I mean, those recipes for Brown-Forman to recreate, I think just validates just the importance that she had back then and still gets recognized today. So let her in.
Right. Let her in. I agree. Yeah. Jessica, what do you think? This story of a farm woman with 12 kids, out on the prairie making whiskey. What do you think about all that stuff?
Well, I mean, it's an amazing story. And it's it's sad to me that it took me, you writing, this podcast for me to know, look into her and know more about her. And it's just, so yes, she deserves some credit for what she's contributed.
McNew, it's a pretty cool story, isn't it?
It is. And I mean, if I had 12 kids, I'd need to make my own damn whiskey too. Like, okay?
You need that just to get by, right? Yeah.
But no, I think she has a really cool story. Should definitely be in the Hall of Fame. Michael Veach, his website, bourbonbeach.com, actually has an article about her from 2018, and it has the recipe in there. And obviously she's from 1818, so it has all this old-timey verbiage in it. And I'm reading it, and I'm just like, what the hell does that even mean? So I'm glad somebody figured it out and knows that this makes whiskey. So it was really kind of cool to read.
Yeah. Yeah, it is very interesting. Now, historically, they've got it dated to 1818, which is cool. The missing piece here is the fact that she was illiterate. This is, and again, they go back through time. So now they have a written recipe. But again, it's not uncommon to have, if you're making it and you can't, read or write, but you have farmhands, people helping you out and things like that. So the idea is that it might not have been her that actually wrote the recipe, but this was written as her recipe. So, and you could see where someone would want to document that, and help her out, especially if she couldn't write it herself. So I think that, I don't know if that's been a sticking point. I don't know why she doesn't get this credit that she deserves, because she is, like you said, Luke, she's a pioneer in whiskey making in this country. Now, I think this is going to help. We see the affiliation of, Evan Williams or Elijah Craig with brands. Now, I think the fact that she's going to be now affiliated, with Brown-Forman and what they're doing, them coming out with this recipe 203 years after it was written, which is very cool. Can't believe actually someone didn't do this before. I love the fact that they're going to come out with this, and it should be available for sale is what they're thinking. Again, whiskey has to age and taste and all those things, but they're thinking 2026.
Nice.
Yeah, so they're thinking it'll be available, and I would love to do it. I don't know that there's anybody better to do this from certainly one of the big companies. You get a Gary Heingartner, maybe on the craft level, you got people who are that into history and those type of things. But Chris Morris, there's nobody that's more into history than that guy. That guy is. He is a gem of the industry. I would assume that even he has respect of everybody, even somebody, craft. I mean, sometimes there's this disconnect between craft and big bourbon, but I would assume somebody like Gary Heingartner would tell us that Chris Morris is a solid guy. I mean, he really is dedicated to research, and, that is incorporated in a lot of what he does, and utilizing historical recipe and making it the way they did back then, I think is a cool thing. So it's cool. I'm excited about this part.
How did they? I'm sorry. How did they get the yeast formula, or was there some sort of DNA that they could recreate, or?
No. So I don't actually know what they're doing with the yeast, but I would assume they went to a place like Firm Solutions and got it from the area, to match there. But they don't have any. There's not a jug or something like that they could take a scrape from, or, a barrel. There's nothing like that where they can actually get, to find out exactly what she was utilizing on that. So, that's going to be just a thing that's going to be lost to time. The best you can do is kind of get, what's local in that area. So that's
knowing Brown-Forman, they're going to do everything possible to recreate that. And I'm sure it's going to be done with a lot of class. And I'm hoping somewhere on the label they give her a lot of credit, and that she certainly do. So yeah.
It sounds, what the cool thing is, it sounds like she still has heirs. When did they donate those papers, Danny?
In 95.
95. So this is modern times. I mean, 95 is not. It's a while ago, certainly, but it sounds like she's got heirs that are still active today, and hopefully they're proud of what they're doing at Brown-Forman. And I'd love to see the family weigh in on those things, and it's very cool. It's a very neat project. If I knew where that they were going to be selling it, it's Brown-Forman's different. They have the Old Forester, but this isn't an Old Forester product, so they don't have like a Brown-Forman, just generic Brown-Forman. They got Woodford. They got Old Forester. They don't have a Brown-Forman, distillery that we can go and put a lawn chair outside of. I'd like to put a lawn chair outside there to mark my spot for 2026. If they'd allow me to keep it there for 5 years. Until they sell it. Save for Steve, Catherine Carpenter whiskey. Yeah. I don't think that's going to happen, though. I don't think they'll allow that. So there you go. There's a little bit about what's going on. Whiskey is a very patient game. So now we have to wait. We know about it. We'll probably forget about a lot of this between now and then, but we've got the show that you can refer back to. And as we get closer to 2026, we'll be talking about this again, and there'll be a lot of excitement to get out there.
Late 2025, we'll get hyped up about it again.
Oh yeah, we'll be fired up. Yeah. So very cool stuff.
That'll be exciting. Yeah,
it's a neat thing. All right, well, we'll wrap this one up as we always do by talking about where people can find us. Danny, we'll start with you. Where can people find you?
Find me on Facebook at Danny Kennard.
All right, Luke.
You can find us on Instagram at Santa Fe Boutique Wines, and Luke Otero at SantaFeBoutiqueWines.com.
All right, Jessica.
All right. Well, I do have an Instagram that, what is it now? Glass Half Fullerton.
Glass Half Fullerton.
Better luck finding me on Facebook if you want to see really what I'm up to.
All right, McNew. Oh, well, what it's just Jessica Fullerton on Facebook, right?
Yeah.
Sorry,
I know. We would spend all this time to find this fun Instagram name for me. And guess what? She
doesn't use it. I followed her. She didn't follow me back.
We spent more time trying to figure out the name.
Yeah. So there you go. All right. McNew, how about you? Where can people find you?
I'm on Instagram at McNew ABV. Also every Tuesday on the ABV Network channel, hosting Bottle Kills and Last Meals.
All right. For me, I'm an easy guy to find. I'm at Steve Akeley on Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook. I've got a website, steveakeley.com. We've also got that company website, that thing's abvnetwork.com. Check it out because everything that we do is out there. Previous shows, blogs, so much more, abvnetwork.com. McNew, anything else to say before we get out of here?
I'd like to remind the audience to please give us a 5-star review. That includes comments. It helps new people find the show, which is very important to us. And if you like what we're doing, we ask that you please visit our Patreon page at patreon.com/the ABV
All right. Great job today, gang. For our audience, we'll have a brand new show for you tomorrow. Looking forward to that. Until then, take care, everybody. See ya.
Bye.
Later.
Bye.
Peace. Before we finish the show, let's talk about some great companies that support the ABV network. First up is Moonshine Still Pro. Moonshine Still Pro has a full line of products to help the home distiller. Whether you want to experiment on the stove in your kitchen or you're looking for a bigger setup in your backyard, owner Russell Creed and his team can help. They have multiple still offerings, accessories, and even grain from their partners at Goldstone Mill to assist you in making whiskey on par with your favorite distillery. They can also help you with some fabricated parts you probably can't make yourself if you are attempting a DIY still project. Learn more or order your still or parts at moonshinestillpro.com. Another friend of ours is the Goldstein family at Goldstone Mill. The Goldsteins offer a variety of heritage and heirloom grains to make the finest whiskeys in the world. Plus, they are more than just a grain company. They are truly consultants to make sure the grains they are providing to you or your business meet your highest expectations. Additionally, they work with mills around the country, ensuring shipping is as low as possible for their customers. If you're a distillery, brewery, or even doing this at home, Goldstone can assist you. Check them out at goldstonemill.com, call them at 217-254-6613, or check in via email at hello@goldstonemill.com. Last but not least, at the top of the show, I mentioned investment opportunities at the new liquor store concept, the ABV Barrel Shop, being launched in 2022 by myself, Jim Fosnot, and Scott Creighton. We are crowdfunding some of the capital needed to open the store. Not only does it offer a return on your investment, but a lifetime of status and benefits at the store. Of course, this investment is a loan and involves a high degree of risk, which may not be suitable for all persons. Prospective investors should carefully evaluate the risk and merits of an investment, should confer with their own legal and financial advisors, and should be able to bear the risk of the loss of their investment before considering the investment described herein. If you would like more information, contact us via the under construction website at abvbarrelshop.com and fill out the form.
The Bourbon Daily is part of the ABV Network. For more information or to become a sponsor, please visit abvnetwork.com. Thanks for listening and cheers.
This has been a Steve Akeley production.